Hi, it's Colleen Schmidt, bringing you today Aries for the month of July. So we will, as always, look at first the cards, doing a Celtic lay with, or I should say, it's not a, it's a Celtic block actually till it's finished because we do a cross and then we do some clarifiers to close the gap, if you will. And then when we're doing the Rider Waite Deck, and then we'll move on to the asteroids using the new moon chart of July 9th to discover exactly what energy is moving through the sign of Aries. So before I jump into the cards, as always, I want to thank you for watching this video. And mostly I want to thank all of my subscribers. If you are not a subscriber, please consider becoming one. And if you would, like, and particularly comment. I love hearing from people. And share if you feel the desire to share. With that said, let's jump in here and look at what we have for Aries for the month of July. So if you're an Aries Sun, an Aries Moon, or an Aries Ascendant, there could be a message here for you today. So we're shuffling up, getting ready for Aries, and just looking at what Aries has to offer for this month of July. So as always, I'm letting the cards choose our significator for this reading. Go, go. So again, we're using a Rider Waite deck, an American version of the starry background, and just to find our card. So for Aries, oh my goodness, you're starting off with what I like to refer to as a master card. It's allowing us to understand that whatever you've been doing, Aries, you've been doing it in the right way. And that's a really wonderful card to start off with. So we've got the master card, or the card of the master, and we're utilizing the fact that everything's been done in the right way. So whether you did it or you had help, it doesn't matter. Everything is being done correctly. So that's wonderful. What crosses you is truth, some level of it. It's the Queen of Sword, very independent card, independent woman in particular, or even a woman who's professional. And this card is what's crossing you. So it's almost as though everything is being done correctly. But perhaps one of the things that you're dealing with is a female administrator, or uh, the law, because that's also what she represents. So that's what's crossing you. The foundation, or the bottom, is the past. And this is a card of self-love as well, by the way. But it's also that recognition that none of us is the same as we were in the past, that we've all grown. And sometimes when we run into even people from the past, we realize, wow, we've come a long way. And that's always a really, really good thing. So that's our base. The actual past, or where you're coming from, is a place where this is manipulations and lies from other people. This is a person who does not feel that they've been able to actualize what they want because others get in the way, or others can be very manipulative. Very possible, Aries, that you were dealing with a more manipulative individual in your life at that point. When it's right side up, it's actualizing things, it's bringing them into being. It's a card of really movement and creativity in a sense. He's got everything there at his fingertips. Everything he needs is there. When it's reversed, it is the opposite. Okay, but a lot of times the stuff is still there. The person hasn't been able to use it to actualize what they want, or for what they want. The crowning card is the card that says you are under no illusions at this time. The Seven of Cups is in reverse, which is actually one of those cards that we would all probably rather see in reverse than right side up. And in this case, the card is telling you that you're seeing very clearly, particularly after coming from this place, that you're seeing very clearly what's going on now, maybe even as a result of that. And that's really good for making sure that things are done correctly, which is what the actual significator is about. Leading up, oh my goodness, in the future is, this is technically, like you're in a waiting mode, you're kind of waiting some things out, which is actually really good, but it's also reminding you that the card itself is like an ending of sorts. The hangman it's like a transition between that ceiling that you've hit, that while you're waiting, and the new beginnings. So that's actually a really good card to mark out this direction that you're going. So I'm going to move these over a little so I can create my line using a new space today. So it's working out so far. So we're going to be now putting our ladder on. Okay, so this is just the beginning. That's our circle. We're going to add a ladder. And then at the end, I will lay more cards across the bottom. So I'm actually, in order to save some space, probably going to be putting some of it over that Six of Cups. So as we move into the next part of the reading, what you bring. Okay, so sometimes it's a negative reaction. This card is not, however. This card says that there's a lot of physical support. So what you're bringing to this is that knowledge that there are others beside you, that you are not alone, that there are other sources and resources that will support you through this. Oh, there you go, Two of Pentacles. Not really showing it very well, am I? Phew, my new place. I have to work. There we go. Two of Pentacles. That's what you're bringing. So I don't think you're bringing anything negative, Aries, which is a really good thing. You're just bringing the knowledge that you have help. The external circumstance, however, is one where no matter what you do, and I just want to kind of get this in here, no matter what you do, you don't seem to get what you're worth. This is everything from not receiving the credit that's due you, because this card is indicating that you are the one who has done everything correctly. You may not get credit for it, but I'm going to give you credit here in these cards. So you're going to get credit from me. It also means that should somebody owe you money, it may not be forthcoming, at least not right now, because it's just not there to give. Sometimes when you don't even get that recognition, it's really not saying that you don't deserve it. What they're saying is it's just really not there to give. So if you're looking at an individual who just is not capable of that sort of thing, that's what it sort of reminds me of. Okay. Now the next card is Hopes and Wishes, and the beauty is that it is the Devil card. So what you're hoping and wishing, and I'm going to go with wish, is that, well, number one, I think that there's a concern that maybe you or somebody else isn't taking the high road on this. Well, that's inevitable just by looking at the cards. However, the Devil is also telling us that it's the end of a cycle, that this is the end of a cycle. And that is a wish card, that somehow, that despite whether you get credit or you don't, the cycle is ending. It's coming to an end, which is really good for you. The concern is that you'll be overextended. This could be financial, so do watch your money. Play your cards close to your chest, though, in everything you're doing, not just with your money, but with your energy, your time, your resources. This is really not a time to overextend yourself. Things are ending, that is true, but you don't want to overextend yourself. You don't want to throw too much out there, not right now. The opposite would be true in reverse. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't. It would just say that you are, keeping to yourself, that you are doing all those things. When the card is in reverse, it means that you might be overextended. So it's the opposite. It's like, Well, they're both talking about overextension, but one card is saying that you will keep to yourself. This card is saying be careful of overspending, be careful of spreading yourself too thin. Okay, because that's what the cards are indicating for the month of July for my Aries friends. Now, I'm going to lay out 3 more cards, and these I pick up together. Okay, and they're very nice. So the first card up is that we want to deal with is that there are some things. I'm going to get this one out right away. Some seeds that you planted will not come to fruition. They will not bring you what you thought they would. So there will be some disappointment with this, but it's just a seed. It's really not a big deal. But I do feel as though there is, besides not getting the recognition, which is our 7 position. I'm sorry, 8 position. Yeah, yeah. 7 is the bottom. So you get this sense. Oops, wrong card. That's upside down. There we go. That these two actually could be going together. That you don't really get something that you should because you're not getting the credit that you should. So that's what that's about. The other 2 cards, very, very good. Good news is coming to you that will make you happy in your heart. So this is a really good card. It's more emotional, but it's really about satisfaction, and it's really just saying that what happiness is coming to you, and it's going to be happiness of the heart. It's also a karmic card. I like the cups for karma, and I think that whatever comes to you is yours. You deserved it. So it might be some kind of small compensation, if you will, for what doesn't work. And the final card is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, we can look at it as a woman, and it's an outgoing woman and a woman that will get you out there. But it's also just the fact of getting out there. It's getting out there, making connections, making contacts, being more social than you've been. That's also going to be very helpful to you this month. So get out when you can. I know, be careful, particularly if you're not vaccinated. But even if you are, you still want to be careful in going out. But going out is what the cards are saying. And connecting. And this could even be professional, but making those connections. Very, very important in July of 2021. So that is our look at the cards for 2021. So let's jump in and look at the asteroids for July of 2021. Back. I just wanted to go through Aries. So we're looking at Aries, and I'm using the new moon, as I said, for July 9th, 2021. And Aries does have this thing. And remember I said about, oh, don't overextend yourself, watch your money. One of the first things I see in the asteroids is that there's an adamantus money, which means that money could be tight. But you could also be getting to the bottom of things regarding some concerns with finances. But with that said, adamantus does talk about constriction. It is about that contraction, decrease. So watch money, particularly as things come to light throughout the month. And that's what it does look like. It's particularly that. I do think, though, that this is a month, and the cards kind of indicated this, where you could take the plunge. Yes. And that part of this will be like a turning point in your life. So some of the decisions that you're going to be making in the month of July will be regarding some turning points that are happening in your life. Now, there could have been a sadness at some point in the last 6 months to a year, and some kind of sadness. It could have even been something that you felt humbled by, okay? And one of the things it says is that right now you want to listen to your gut, pay attention to your dreams. They are leading you. Remember that you will be making decisions, and some of these will change your life. One of the things it says here is that you definitely want to be structured about these things. You want to make sure that you go about them in a structured manner. It also refers to the fact that when people travel, they tend to overindulge, okay? And, or there's a dependency maybe on drugs or alcohol when people don't feel like they fit. You know, it's interesting. I use the word travel, but the reality is that you don't always have to travel that far to find yourself in a situation where you are very different than everyone around you. And that difference will sometimes cause people to go and have a cigarette, to have a beer. And so you may be noticing this over the month of July. If you yourself have a Bacchus issue, you might want to look at that because with Adamitas there, this is a great time to cut down on your drinking or your smoking or whatever else that you're doing. Also, think about the money that you'll save on either front. And so, anyway, with that said, I'm not going to elaborate anymore. I think we've covered it all. But I do want to say take care, be well, and thank you so much for watching this video. Again, subscribe, like, share. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, be well, and until we meet again, as always, only happy.